Sachin, are we ready to go live?
Yep, we will be live in 2 seconds.
Great.
It
Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing great. I am Amanpreet, your host for today's webinar from Woovly. We are a social e-commerce platform for Tier 2, Tier 3 cities in India. The aim for today's webinar is to put some light on how brand and consumer interactions are being revolutionized by live commerce, a rapidly growing term in e-commerce, I can say. So we all know what is live commerce. If some person goes live stream, and they can directly interact with their potential customer. They can talk to them, showcase the product, and maybe they can convert them into their permanent consumer as well while showcasing and answering their queries then and there. So before we get to the topic, I'll briefly introduce the speakers for today's webinar. With 4 years of extensive experience in marketing and strategic communication, Manya Nair is currently co-founder of India's first gender-free, genderless beauty brand, iBeauty. She is also the creative marketing head at Type Beauty. Tanya Eldred Bhatt is an entrepreneurial dynamo. She is the visionary behind India's hashtag curly hair expert, leading the way at Exocurls. Extended a warm welcome to the panel and our speakers for today.
Thank you, Amanpreet.
So, so, here is a detailed look at the future of e-commerce, the rising popularity of live commerce, how it impacts the brand building, and how it benefits your business. So, as we all know that in 2016, Chinese giant retailer Alibaba started their first live streaming event with a great success. But we can say that it took it pace. It got boomed during the COVID, during the lockdown, when everyone was at home sitting there talking about that how to place orders, going online, managing everything online, right? And everyone was creating content too. So everyone was into creating content or maybe watching the content and buying the product. So from that, 2 3 years, I can say, right, and till today, there's a huge things that we have seen, and the e-commerce industry have emerged to going live videos, shoppable videos, video reviews that are brands are putting on their website and everywhere. So we can say that the this rapidly growing terms right now in e-commerce industry, which is live commerce right now, the major Indian brands has accepted it, right? Like Amazon, Flipkart, and Mintra, we can say. And small brands are also homegrown brands are also experiment with with this kind of live commerce and video commerce thing. But what do you think? How does live commerce create value to a business? If I put my first question to it, that if a business, if a founder or a co-founder is looking at a brand building, how does this live commerce create value for their business?
So I'd like to go first answering this. I think live commerce gives you an experiential sort of point of view, I would say, wherein you can actually get to know about the product first. For example, this is my upcoming launch, which is not out there as yet, but I have like the kind of product in my hand. So being a live commerce interactive or being an influencer, being a presenter, I would say, I would start by talking about the product first, giving more insight into it, rather than just plainly putting out a post, or maybe like say a blog, or maybe you know a reel or something out there. Giving an experiential point of view is extremely important. A is one of the crucial points for me. B, when I talk about the product as such, I can give like a more deeper insight into what ingredients as to they're going in this, what the benefits they're going to have on the person's skin or whatsoever. And then I can move ahead about its multi usage, and then I can explain more about the color theory and everything. And then potentially I can take up the questions also, if somebody's watching me and somebody's like putting up the question, and then I can briefly explain them about this. So this is what I think live stream is better than e-commerce. And I think the future of live stream is bright, because I think now it's gaining popularity, and previously due to the literacy rate of India, I don't think so many people are even aware of the factor that that Alibaba exists also. Until and unless they do research, I believe the founders are going to be well aware of it. But if I talk about the
Yes.
people who are viewing the
Mhm.
content and are not creating the content, they are
Right.
definitely not aware of what Alibaba is or what Alibaba does. So that's my take on it. And I think Tanya can shed more light on it.
I think live commerce is a fantastic new innovation because it really helps bridge the gap between physical shopping. When you actually go to a store, you typically would either meet somebody who can explain to you what the product does, how to use, when to use, all of that. And when you're only online, you have to either rely on somebody reading your complete description or watching your demo video. And very often there is a gap in communication between what the brand is saying and what the customer is hearing. When you are doing something live, it is so easy to clarify uh, to anybody what exactly you're supposed to do with it. For example, this is our shower detangling comb. It's a patented product that we invented. I hold the patent for this. Now, this comb has many fantastic reviews on Amazon, but it also has some where people have said, oh, it's completely useless for me. And when I contact the customer and find out why, it's because they've got perfectly poker straight hair and they don't need a detangling comb. They have not read the description that it
Mhm.
is for wavy or curly hair and how you have to detangle, why you need this comb. They have just assumed it is a comb, so let me buy it, and then complained that it doesn't work for them because it's not meant for them. In live commerce, things like that are not going to happen because you're interacting with the content. You get to ask the content creator, oh, can you show me how you do this in the case of this comb? Or in the case of, say, makeup or any specialized sort of product that you don't know how to use, say, a curling iron, or you don't know how to put on blush. And it's very educational and informative from the customer side of view, also fantastic for the brand because then you close so many of the gaps in communication, and that really helps make a person understand how to use your product. And if it is serving their purpose, then yeah, you've acquired a customer for a significant amount of time.
Definitely, definitely. Very well said. I think the both of you have said the same point, but in your expertise and in your way. Like you said that if I have a straight hair, but I cannot use that comb because it doesn't work for me until unless if someone is explaining to me this is the way you can use it. However, my brother can use it because he has some curly hairs and long hair, something like
I guess about the way also the kind of engineering of this comb is. I was actually well done for the product, Tanya. I was actually
Himanya.
very elevated by the color that it had. It's extremely eye catching and also great achievement on the patency also because in India, I personally know it's not easy to get a patent for anything. I know that.
especially for the products in beauty segment, people like especially Indian women, they are very conscious about, is this color gonna look good on me, is this product useful for me. So and if I invest this if I invest particular in this product, will it will be will it gonna be help me or not. I'm giving 500 400 x number of, you know how Indian women are right now, right? So if someone is explaining them ki, this is the right way to apply it and this is the color how it's gonna look on my face, and if you're a similar skin tone you can buy it.
Exactly.
So definitely, definitely, it's a thumbs up for live commerce, and definitely, like you said, it creates value to your business for sure. So if I
Considering
move,
that live commerce is extended towards tier 2 and tier 3 cities in India, and wherein actually women are, not very well, I would say, aware of what's out there in the market and what, the function does a product hold. I think in that sense, it's quite, you know, elevating their education, elevating their product knowledge, elevating their shopping experience, I would say, because if I put myself into the shoe of a consumer, I would always want to buy something that adds value to, my life, or it should solve a purpose that I'm buying the product for, right? Being
yeah,
the impulsive shopper that I am, I just typically buy anything and everything that I like on the Instagram, and I'm quite easily influenced by influencers, even knowing the fact that they are being paid to say that. I'm then also influenced just because I have a curiosity of trying the new product in the market because that's a beauty enthusiast in me, like screaming to try that product out. B, I would say it's just like shopping is like second nature to me. But then I would say live shopping and a live streaming experience is something that can streamline the process for the impulsive shoppers like me, and B, it can add a lot more value to tier 2 and tier 3 cities, because I think Tanya, you would also agree on that. Tier 1 people are quite, I would say, more informed. I won't say educated, that's a wrong word. They're quite more informed about the companies, the brands out there, whereas in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, they are more into offline shopping rather than online one. I
Right.
mean, they would rather like go in and buy a lipstick from like a next drugstore, shop next to their house, rather than just like sitting on the Instagram or maybe sitting on internet and like scrolling aimlessly through and like trying to know about the product, I would say. So that I think can elevate. However, Aman, since you are in that live streaming arena, do you want to shed light on something like how live streaming is more accessible to tier 2 and tier 3 cities?
I think definitely it can be accessible to them, but it depends that where you are doing live commerce, where you are doing live. So if you are going live on your app, if you're going live on your website, if you're going live on your Instagram handle, I think if we are focusing on tier 2, tier 3 cities, we should definitely focus on Facebook more, or maybe YouTube more, because major of tier 2, tier 3 cities, they are on Facebook. If obviously each or every brand, they're running Facebook ads, right? They know, because major of the traction, they're coming from Facebook. All the housewife, all the aged women, they are on Facebook, right? And even on the YouTube, they love to watch the vlogs. They love to watch these kind of women who are doing home practice, "Acha, ye kaise banta hai, kaise banta hai," these kind of things, right? So I think definitely this is the future, but slowly and steadily it's getting to that point.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, definitely. And I can see we have few questions for you. So the first question is, what are the challenges for you to go live? Technology, studio production, operations of going live in terms of script, post, handling live, production, etc.
I would definitely say operations, because even though you're prepared for a live, you are still not prepared for a live, because there are these last
True.
moment glitches, like the light's not shedding properly, the angle is not right. Oh, I have like decked up myself. Oh, but I think I'm not looking nice on the camera. I think the product packaging is not there with me. I would not say like the big tech operations, but like the last minute operations are definitely a hassle for me in particular. It can differ from brand to brand, person to person, people to people, groups, etc. For me, the last minute operations are a handle, because no matter I am perfect to tee off my production, but then these last minute, oh shit, मैं तो line ही भूल गई बोलना क्या था. That always happens with me. So that
Yes, right.
is one thing that happens to me a lot. Apart from, I'm quite like a procrastinator perfectionist. That means I would delay everything to the last minute, but last minute I ensure everything tech wise is fine. But then I am the troublemaker, then the problem comes with me only.
I think this is a very chotu problem, but we all face it. Chotu problems get a very big
It's
thing.
like these nitty gritties do make an impact on your life,
Yes,
I think, because like imagine I'm having a webinar now. What if I forget this answer only that I'm telling you?
right,
Like
definitely.
I have this last minute forgetting problem a lot. Oh, मैं तो भूल ही के करने का था. Then it has happened to me a lot of time. Like I'm sitting in a meeting, they ask me a question, and I'll be like, अच्छा question क्या था? Sorry, मैं भूल गई. And it's like
Got
this
your
happens
point.
a lot.
Right, right, right.
I find to go live, some simple basic sort of stuff to answer these very specific questions is you need definitely a good camera, Wi-Fi. Either it could be your laptop or your phone, whatever you've set up. You don't really need a studio per se, but a quiet, well-lit room. Invariably, what happens to me is dogs start barking, and it used to stress me out before, but now I just sort of take it as it comes and sometimes include them in my life if the dogs are barking too much. A script, I usually have a very loose script, just like talking points, because I know I'll never remember everything, and I just take things impromptu as per the interactions that's happening with the audience. And I do try to remember to keep all my products handy, but sometimes if it's something on short notice and you end up taking it from somewhere else, then yeah, you just have to roll with how it's going.
I think we all are on the same page in this. Like we are also doing live, but last minute Wi-Fi nahi chalna, light chale jana, products are not there, or maybe the handle is not working at all, the laptop is not working, or the phone is not there. The last minute operational issues is the main thing that majorly is the roadblock, we can say, right? Great. So moving on to the next question we have is from Neha, and she's asking, Anya, loved your way to explaining product. Imo, you will get a great host for life for your product.
Thank you, Neha. Anything you would know about the products if you're still here?
Yeah. And one question is for Tanya also. There's one thing that Diksha is asking. Oh, sorry, Manya. I'm so sorry. It's a bit confusing.
Okay, Tanya.
Next question.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to know from you. Will a tier 2, tier 3 customer would want to spend any time before buying anything related to cosmetic, as they are not into makeup or fashion per se?
I would say when they have right information about the product and if it's explained well in terms of the investment they are making, it's going to be definitely a hit buy for them. For example, I would say their steps in the life commerce, the benefit of that comes into the foreplay. So if they're informed about what the product does, what the product is, and when the cost of the same is justified. So for example, we as a brand, we don't come up with like 800 product at once. We do not launch a product every month. It's been 1 year of the brand being in the market, and we have 3 SKUs only, because we are putting a lot in our innovation, we're putting a lot in our formulations, we're putting a lot in terms of the ingredients as well. For example, we are the first brand doing makeup infused with skincare, but wherein we claim and we have it on papers, it's 50% skincare and 50% makeup. So when we justify that, when we explain that, and when the customer is rightly informed about the product, yes, they can buy. And of course, it's gonna be sustainable purchase in their respective spend as well, because it's actually gonna add value to their skin. A, B, look, C, it's gonna enhance the overall, the skin health. So I would say yes, they can spend when they are informed. Don't be like me. Don't spend impulsively if you don't know about the product, because it has happened a lot of times. Like, I would come across a random product, I would order it just for the sake of trying the product, and I would end up having a bad skin or maybe having like a breakout. So don't do that. Yeah.
Great. So, like you both said in the first question that I have asked, that how does live commerce create value? So, adding to that, both of you answered in the same way, that if we are, showcase the product to the consumers, and how they can, identify if the product is right for them, and they can buy, how to use them, and what are the benefits of the products, right? Adding on to that question only. So, what do you think? How live stream shopping is the key to building a brand authenticity in the market, or amongst the consumer, you can say?
Sorry, I was about to sneeze. Yeah. So I would say brand authenticity is something that comes out in the quality of the product and your reviews. They
Right.
play a key role in it. However, when we are talking about the product on a live stream, when we are claiming, oh, the product, for example, there's a very famous product going around the market that says, oh, it's a pH changing lip gloss and a pH changing blush. For example,
Right.
we are streaming that product on the live stream, and if it does not change the color in 5 seconds as it is claiming on the ads or wherever, on the post, on the reel, that's where the authenticity and trust issues come in. On live stream, you can just directly show the consumer, oh, here's the timer, here's the blush, it's on my face, see, in 5 seconds my color is changed, and it's like giving me my typical shade that's meant for me, and it just like gives me a unique shade basis my skincare and my skin color or whatever. Okay, that's where I think live stream adds value to, building the brand authenticity, wherein you can actually show what you are claiming that your product does, and as a brand you hold the value of.
Very well said. Yes, Tanya.
Also, in terms of packaging and everything, I know that a lot of big brands do have fakes. that are out there a lot. But when you're looking at something live, not only can you judge its efficacy, like Manya mentioned, you can also verify if what you're buying is the real thing, because you can ask to maybe see a close up of the label, or you can check whether the logo is right on the product as well as the packaging. So being able to verify that you're getting an authentic product is live is a great way to do that.
Definitely. So we can definitely say, like you said, that if you are claiming something out of a product and you are showing it on the live, definitely consumer can gonna trust the brand authenticity and they're gonna come back to buy the product. We can say
course.
that. Yes. So
I think
moving on.
the
Yes,
customer is an earned customer. I firmly believe that.
definitely. If they are there, they saw
Yeah.
that the yes product definitely works like a magic, and the what brand is claiming is there in the product. They that consumer will be a loyal consumer for the particular brand.
Like to add to that, so by far in 1 year of my brand being out there in the market, we haven't really spent actively on paid collaborations. What we have
Okay.
done is like gifting and PR, and whatever reviews that we have garnered from the influencers have been like the most authentic ones. And basis we recently did our this paid collaboration with one of the influencers, we didn't garner as many consumers and as many sales and as many insights as we did previously from the authentic reviews and authentic, I would say standpoints that they share. So that I think adds up even more because it's coming from the point where they're unbiased and just reviewing the product, just on their own and by their own goodwill. It was not imposed on them to, just like put a review or do something. I think live stream in that sense can actually show the performance of the product as well and can review there and then, so that the consumer, whoever is watching, can also, gain insight of, oh, if it's bad, then it's bad. If it's not a shade match, it's not a shade match. And if it's like itching as you put the product on, it's like an instant review that can also, add up to the value of the product. It can either make the brand or break the brand there and then.
Definitely yes. Definitely yes. So moving on to the next question, like previously I said that that major of these big e-commerce industries like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra, they have started doing this e-commerce on their live commerce, the live streaming basically on their websites and apps.
Mm-hmm.
So all these brands are taking up live commerce and they are experimenting with these live streamings and everything. So what do you think? What is next for live commerce? In coming months or maybe next year, in coming years, what we see in live commerce? What's next for live commerce?
Big influencers per se who have turned celebrities, like particularly who have turned into actors, stepping in and being approached by the big brands to, advertise their product on, the websites and stuff. Because if it's actually giving them sales, then I would be very, very blunt and upfront. Brands want nothing but money. And if they think that a certain influencer can make an impact, then they're gonna do it. I would tell you the recent story about it. Do you know Recode Studios? It's a
Yeah.
brand. And during this Diwali time, during this Diwali party season, what they did was, with the big influencers, I would say all top tier one artists, they collaborated. And what they did was, go live on Instagram and do a full face of Recode makeup. And the live, of course, nobody, when they're explaining and when they're doing the makeup, it's not like a 5 minute job as you would do off camera. You are just like, oh, you put it and you're like good to go. But when you're at live commerce and when you're doing a live, you need to explain about each product, talk about each product. And it was like almost all the videos I saw, I usually have this habit of, see the brand trends, what's going out there on the gram and what's out there in the social media. So what I do is I took a note of each of their live, and none of the live was less than a 40-minute one. Imagine a person, an influencer, having a 500K or a 600K following, talking about a brand and its products straight for 40 minutes, and audience being hooked to it. We Indians want to watch everything. And there
Definitely,
was
especially the end.
exactly. And then there are these makeup artists who are buzz makers, I would say, whose stories give you gossips, I would say Indians are hooked to it and we want to watch it and we want to see it. Not even once their viewing watched below than 1,000 people. I mean, it's an achievement for me. If like 1,000 people are watching me 40 minutes straight, I'll be overwhelmed. It might be a small number in comparison to 500K, but if 1,000 people in reality walk up to me, it's going to be overwhelming. So coming from that point of view, what them watching me is like something extremely great. Okay, so I would say the future of it has already been started because brands are now actually getting to understand like what it is rather than just throwing out a 30-second reel. A 40-minute video is something that they are preferring over it. So it has already started. It's just gonna grow bigger and bolder. We just have to make the moves more smarter. We just have to be more engaging with what we are trying to do. Just get ready with me all the time is not going to work. You really have to strategize and focus and emphasize on the communication that you are throwing out, because everything is communication. This is also communication. We are interacting, we are putting out some information. While you put information out in like a audiovisual form or maybe like a textual form, it's all communication. You really need to work and strategize over it, and that's how I think it's gonna bolster among the coming years.
Right. Great. Very well said. Very well said. Tanya, please throw some light on this.
I think the future of live streaming is that primarily two things. One, we will see more nano influencers also getting in on this rather than just the extremely popular ones. I think customers have started being able to filter who are sort of professional influencers who are out there paid by the brands to do a certain thing and say a certain thing versus those creators who are genuinely discovering and wanting to share with their followers. I also think more tech will come into it where people will be able to demo so many different things like augmented reality. If you have, a way to incorporate that into what you're trying to show your audience, or even using technology for scheduling things or for, anything that requires a bit of a demo, I think that will get covered more in live streaming commerce now.
Definitely, definitely. These nano creators are also giving a big impact to the industry, I can say, because the engagement is good for small influencers as well. So I think, like Manya said, that focus on few big influencer and then focus on zada this like big number of choto influencers, like micro nano influencers. Combine the both, and I think that can really help. And this is the future for live commerce, and it has already started. This is true because everyone know about like going live, doing live, showcasing the product, or maybe they just want to watch the live because they love watching live.
Exactly. I think we all love to be entertained,
Right.
and if something of our interest, say you are not going to follow Khali if you do not like wrestling, I would say. Okay, but
Definitely.
if I like makeup, then I'm following, I would say, some influencer or some makeup artist. And because I have an interest in beauty as an industry, and if she's going to say something, I'm going to follow it, I'm going to see it. So that's where, the entire drive comes from.
Definitely, definitely. So, carrying on with the, I think, same question that, like we said, that the influencers, we are talking about influencers and makeup artists and all the people who can, who will be the potential, live streamers for a brand. But what do you think? So this is the last question for this webinar, I can say. So which live streamer should present your brand? How can one can decide, how you can decide that if you want to go live, that this person is great for me, I want this person to go live, showcase the product? What do you think? What should a brand look into a live streamer?
A brand should obviously pick up an influencer or an impactful sorry, human who actually resonates with your brand per se, who actually defines I would say the ethics that your brands hold, and you as a brand and the person who is showcasing your product should hold same values towards beauty as an ecosystem. So I would definitely, if I hope God hears me today, I would love Vasudha Rai, if you guys know, would go on like a live stream and showcase the product, because I think my brand and product very well resonates with what beauty means to her, because she has cultivated a life out of that particular industry, and she has been open, blunt, and upfront about what she holds opinions of. Because I have had a chance to work with her with few of the brands that I was working with earlier, and I have had like a great experience. She doesn't even do like a paid collaboration until and unless she totally believes in the brand, and you know, she tries the product first for like good 1 month, and then only she gives the review. And unless she's not somebody who will just go after money for the sake of giving out a review and put like a, you know, dedicated post to it, she won't do that. So I think people like her would be something that I would want my brand to engage with and, like, you know, put out the product with.
Great. Tanya?
I would look for creators whose let me say hygiene, for lack of a better word, in terms of, are their videos properly lit? Are they properly groomed when they present? Like, it really bothers me when people have chipped nails and messy, dirty surroundings, all of that when they're making a live. I want that basic hygiene in place because people are putting the effort to watch that content. At least let it be, first of all, pleasant on the eyes, and secondly, relevant and engaging. Like, I will not work with somebody with perfectly straight hair for my products because I find that to be deceitful and a waste of time to my audience who is looking for solutions to their particular problem. I want to work with an influencer, regardless of their size of their followers, who can properly understand and demo the products. Essentially, that's it. Basic hygiene and relevance to the products. That's what I look for.
Great. Very well said. Like, both the points are there. Like Manya said, that definitely if and you as well as you said, that if a influencer is understanding the brand's value, the core value of the brand, either it's beauty or hair, but if they're understanding the value of the brand, that what is their fundamental things they have started the brand on, definitely a brand can go do a live streaming because they understand what a brand want to convey to their consumer. And definitely basic hygiene, if the groom during the live, talking properly to their consumer, answering their queries, questions then and there. So definitely these few points we can keep in mind during this live streaming or live sessions. Well, I think this is we can put end to this webinar, and in the conclusion we can say definitely live commerce is the future of e-commerce, and it has already started with the help of bigger, smaller, nano guys said that is gonna help brand building, brand authenticity amongst the consumers if the right streamer is there to represent your brand.
Absolutely. I think there is a question by Akhila Suresh for Tanya. Tanya, I think your expertise is needed for the
one for both of you. She says, what are hair care
yes.
products you would recommend, specifically serums and curl creams? I answered Akhila in chat. It really depends on your hair type. Without knowing, I can't be sure, but I'm going to assume, since you're asking me, that you have either wavy or curly hair. I would say the best thing for you to do is make sure that you never comb or brush your hair when it's dry, and never go without a leave-in conditioner. Ideally, use the XO Curls leave-in conditioner, but you can, try, mix and match, see what suits your hair type best, and go with that. Manya, you want to
very well answered.
You want to take her skincare question?
I think the live, this webinar, and I enjoyed a lot. Definitely, I can say, and I think our audience have enjoyed a lot. They said that it's great to see two women founders having such great viewpoints. Very empowering.
Thank you so much, Amanpreet. Thank you so much, Manya. It was lovely being with you.
I think we can definitely meet in the future to discuss some more live commerce topics. But definitely, it was a great live session with you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye. See you on shopping carts. Bye.
Bye.